Hello everyone, my name is Missy and today we're going to be talking about the perfect scream. Did I get you? Maybe just a little bit? No, we're going to be talking about balancing your audio in your videos, which is something that's going to apply to pretty much every single person on YouTube who doesn't just have silent videos. But it's going to be a tiny bit ironic because it's currently pissing down with rain and that's going to be a bitch to edit out. So if it's kind of noisy, I'm sorry, I did try. I don't really have another time to record this, so forgive me the irony. Recently I've been giving feedback to people who message me on Twitter, and the most common theme that I see is actually talking about the final mix of the video. So things will either be too loud and I can't hear people, they'll be distorting their audio because they're screaming at their mic, and it's a bit of a mess. So I thought I'd talk about it today. I can already hear people saying, "But Missy, I scream in my videos because it's so much fun and people love it and they think it's so funny." And I get it. It adds a lot of comedic value to your videos, but when you're not prepared for it, it sounds like shit. If your music or game sound effects are too loud and people are struggling to hear what you have to say, it's actually detracting from the rest of the video and whatever else is displayed on screen because they're just trying to listen in for that little bit of detail of what you're saying. And that actually is a very bad thing. It's a very negative thing as far as attention goes, and that's what I talked about a lot in my last video on these kind of things. And distortion or clipping is where your audio, it just reaches its max volume that it can handle and then it doesn't know what to do with itself basically, and it's really hard to repair. So once you stuff it up, you kind of have stuffed it up permanently. It's very hard to fix recorded audio when it's distorted and it's reached that max 0 dB limit. Here's what it sounds like when I'm not really prepared to get close to the microphone. You're probably going to hear a lot of distortion and it's probably not going to sound very nice, and I can see it's going red over there and it's not good. The most important thing is to try and plan ahead. If you're going to play a horror game where you think you're going to scream really loudly all of a sudden, it's probably best to turn down your sensitivity or your gain on your microphone. If you're going to play with friends and you're going to have a great time, you're going to scream at each other, that's fine, but prepare for it, you know? Think about how you're going to prepare your setup. Whether you have a high-end microphone or editing software or not, there's always things you can do to improve your audio. So here are my golden tips for every content creator that has some kind of audio in their videos. Your personality and your channel's character is really well portrayed through voice, especially if you don't have a face cam, so that's why it's so important to always have your voice louder than anything else in a video. Here is what it sounds like when the music is too loud. Whether it's game music or background music, if it's too loud, I'm going to be drowned out, you're not going to be able to hear me, and that is not a good thing, it's not good quality. But this should not be compromised by distortion, and the best way to prepare for distortion is to just have your mic further away. If you're screaming at something that's right here, it's gonna ruin the audio and you won't be able to save it. But if you have a high-end mic, you can also turn your gain down or prepare a little bit more, or turn your sensitivity down depending on what kind of mic you have. Just prepare a little bit more if you're going to be loud. Try to have your sound effects, whether it's added in post or part of the game, as a lower level than your commentary. It should not overwhelm you, it should not scare the shit out of the people that are watching you unless that's really what you're going for. Here is what it sounds like when your sound effects are above everything else. It's kind of startling, it's kind of bouncing around the place, and it's overwhelming and it makes you just want to just stop. Like sometimes it suits some comedic values, but often not so much. And finally, have your game music or background music lower than everything else. One of the easy ways to do this before you even edit anything is to actually go in game, go to your audio settings, and just turn things down and adjust them to what you need. It takes 10 seconds just to do a quick test before you have to do all this work to try and fix stuff later on. Lastly, it is really important to listen to the final balance or the final mix of your work before you publish it, with and without headphones. It's actually what professionals do when they make a new soundtrack. They take it in their car, they take it to their phone speakers, and they take it through their headphones, just to hear the difference between each kind of output. What you hear in your headphones or your earphones is going to be so much more different than your phone speaker, which actually gets rid of a lot of the bass. So if you can't hear your music in one or the other, then you need to adjust accordingly. In summary, the golden rule is you've got 3 tiers of audio. You've got your commentary, the loudest, sound effects, the second loudest, and game music or background music as the bottom level that's just kind of there underneath. If you can maintain this kind of level of audio standard, even if you're just doing your best with what you have, it'll look so much more professional, and it really goes a long way to keeping people entertained and making your channel look respectable and sophisticated. But that'll do it for this video. I hope the rain wasn't too distracting. It's kind of let up a little bit now. The irony was killing me. I can't believe I was doing an audio video while there's shitty audio. But if you're after feedback for your channel in particular and you kind of want to hear what I have to say with my experience that I happen to have over the last couple of months, then message me on Twitter. I'll be more than happy to give you a big, nice, lengthy paragraph on how I think you're going well and how I think you're not going well with your channel so far, in all sorts of things, whether it's audio, whether it's length like my previous video, or even like your channel branding. Just let me know on Twitter. I'll be more than happy to take a look, and I just want to support everyone around me because it's fun. Let's be honest, making friends is fun, and it's a nice feeling to actually have people who support you back as well. So on that note, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye! Today's video, we are going to talk about length. Now before you get any ideas, we're talking about video length. As you've probably seen just by scrolling through the uploads in my channel, that I can have some very... What did you think of the video? Did you think it was okay? Did I talk okay? I'm always so nervous and I'm going to talk and not make any sense.